Hello my friends, William Poloniak here again at Whole Health Foundation. In this video I'm going to demonstrate how to replace the hydraulic return spring with a premium quality return spring. Now here I have this return spring, and this is the premium spring before it's been set. And this is the same spring after it's been compressed, or what's called a set. The compression sets it at the height that it's going to be permanently. Now what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to install it before the set has been put in, just to show you that it can be done, but with some difficulty. Now I'm going to show you here why I'm replacing it. Now watch as it goes down. It goes down all but maybe 1/4 of an inch, and it goes down very slowly. So I'm going to replace that spring. And the first thing I'm going to do, of course, is take off the cover. And next what I'll do is remove these 6 bolts, take the piston out, and replace the spring in the next clip. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm removing all of these 6 bolts to open up the reservoir. Now if you're just replacing the spring, you do not need to empty the fluid. I have just changed the fluid on this Norwalk juicer, so it's got brand new fluid. It does not need to be changed. And in normal circumstances you may not need to change your fluid either if you're just going to upgrade to the premium return spring. And after I've installed the premium return spring, you'll see why. And basically, it's got a faster return. It returns in about 2 seconds instead of about 4.5 or 5 seconds. And that will save a lot of time when you're making juice, especially if you're in a commercial setting. Now, the first thing I want to point out, it's a very, very good idea to stuff some cloth down here in case you have any spillage. And generally you will get a little bit of spillage. So I'm going to put this cloth down in here to catch any spillage, because I don't want to have to take the sheet metal off and clean it. Alright, now to take that out, you put your thumb on the piston, lift this up and wiggle it, and then push the piston out by your thumb like so. And there we have the top, and I'm going to set that aside. Now, I'm going to get a container and take out the piston with the piston chamber. Almost got away on me there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove this spring, which is fairly satisfactory, but I want better performance out of this juicer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a screwdriver and I'm going to take the dog leg out of the top, and I'm going to set that aside. Then I'm going to take the premium spring before the set, and we'll get that in. I'm going to need a needle nose pliers here. There we go. So you see it's in the dog leg. The dog leg is in the hole. The next thing I'm going to do, first of all, I want to clean the bottom of that piston. Clean any spillage. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the piston in the bottom, work its way into the reservoir. Is to use a block of wood about 4 1/4 inches or 4 5/16 inches long. So with the part that has the guidepost at the back, I'm first going to work the top of this cylinder into this middle ring until it's seated properly. There we have it. Now it's going to be difficult to push this down because of the strength of the spring and the fact that it does not have a set in it yet. So you wiggle it down over the piston, and you can see how much difficulty I'm having. I'm going to get this piece of wood up here just in case. And we can work it over the piston. Oh my God, that's strong. And then over the piston. It's really a two-person job, but I want to demonstrate how it can be done with one person. Oh, there it is. I'm going to have to hold that down. Oh, darn it, that's difficult. I had it there, but it was too strong for me. There we go. Hold that down. Darn it. Give it another try. There we go. Hold that down with one hand to get that block of wood in there. Darn it. Let's try again. Let's see if I can hold that down. Get the block of wood in there. There we go. Oh boy, you can see how difficult it is when the set is not in the spring. So, let's push down and see if we can center that block of wood. There we go. Now the block of wood is to prevent you from having to hold it down, and you can see how difficult that was. And the next step is to get a couple of screws. Come around here. Get a couple of bolts in there. Tighten it as much as you can by hand. Now it's a good idea if you're having difficulty, and if you decide to buy one of these premium springs, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a couple of extra long bolts so that you can reach down, because you might need that. So I'm going to put a couple of extra long bolts on either side. And then over here. Get my left hand so the camera can see it better. Okay, now with the ratchet, we're going to tighten two of these bolts on opposite sides. There we go. Now we're not going to need the block of wood once you get two bolts tightened down. Get that over there. Tighten this a little bit more. Just hand tighten, don't over tighten it. Then we'll put the rest of these bolts in by hand first. Now we'll have it hand tight. Now I'm going to use a torque wrench to tighten this, but if you don't have a torque wrench, you'd want to tighten it, as I'm doing here, 1/2 turn, like so, or 1/4 turn even. But I will use a torque wrench because I want these all to be the same. Now this is a special inch-pound torque wrench. It's not a foot-pound like they use in cars, it's inch-pound. And what I want to do is I want to get that up to 75 inch-pounds. So that one is perfect. That one is perfect. 75. Oh, I did a pretty good job by hand. 75. 75. And the last one up to 75. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate why I want the premium spring in there. We'll turn it on. Watch this go all the way up. Takes 15 to 20 seconds to go up all the way. There we go. Now a click at the top is just the spring setting itself in. Now watch as it goes down. 1,000, 2,000, 2.5 seconds. Watch how much faster that goes. Now notice it didn't click at the top this time down. Notice how much faster it goes. I want to point two things out. If you're installing a spring before the set has been put into the spring to make it shorter, the permanent set, using two people to put it in would be much better. One to hold the cover down while another person puts the piece of wood in there to prevent the top from popping up. And secondly, I want to mention that if you do decide to invest in a premium return spring, I'm going to put the set in for you and also send you a couple of extra long bolts. And I hope you find this information helpful. If you want to invest in one of these premium hydraulic return springs, give me a call, and you might like the faster return, and that would be definitely a benefit, especially if you have a commercial business. My phone number is 760-753-0321. My email address is developtrust@cox.net, and my webpage is wholehealthfound.com. And I hope you find whole health using your Norwalk juicer. See you in the next video.